Hello, good morning. Good morning, good morning.
GM, Santi, GM, everyone. Big day, big brew ahead of us, bro.
Big day, big brew, super important one. I think it's one of the most interesting ones we ever had.
Bro, I have been dreaming with this kind of thing since I was a little penguin, a young penguin in 2021, when I first heard about the Holy Gospel of Polis. And now, this is becoming a reality. This is actually true. We are meeting people who will be part of Star Atlas politics. This is crazy. I'm super excited.
Yeah, yeah, same for me. It's finally the time. It's happening, Jose.
It's
It's
happening, bro.
actually happening. You
It's
get
actually
that PvP to good use.
the Polish gospel will guide us. Iris, the cosmic currents. Everything comes to fruition. Everything comes to be unified today, bro. I'm loving this.
Yeah, yeah. Also, because we want to be respectful of everyone's time here, we kind of want to go straight to business. So, no noteworthy news for today. I just wanted to share some dates that relate to the DAO, basically. Right now, we're looking, as you guys know, how this is going to work. Basically, we'll have 2 rounds of voting for these positions in the council. It will be 5 positions that need to be filled. And as you know, we have 22 candidates. In the first stage, we'll go from 22 candidates to 12. Voting will start on the 14th of next month and will end at breakpoint. And the second stage will go basically from the last 12 to the 5 candidates that will be joining the DAO Council. And that is happening post breakpoint, and we'll be communicating the end date closer to that. Also, how voting will work will be in the single transferable vote way. If you guys want to learn more about how this works, I'll link a YouTube video in the chat that explains it way better than how we could ever explain it. We can also have a complete brew just focusing on this if you guys want. Um, but yeah, those are the quick noteworthy news for today. Also, make sure to participate in the Navathon. Important, that's a very important one. 50K impresses, so make sure to participate in the Navathon. But moving on from this, how today is going to work is basically we have the 22 candidates. We have invited the 22 candidates. Hopefully, they will join. Some of them have also sent us the materials they prepared for their presentation or whatever they want to do. And how this is going to work today is each candidate will have 5 minutes on stage, 5 minutes for each. And we are only going to ask 2 questions. The first one is please give us a brief introduction about yourself and your background, whatever you feel that should be shared, how you got into the Stratos community, whatever you feel that is important. And the second question is why should people vote for you? Those are the only 2 questions that we're going to ask, and you can take 5 minutes in total to reply to them. We'll have the clock running as well and let you know when there's only 1 minute left. But you have the chance to use all the 5 minutes. We decided to not take live questions from the community for the candidates at the brew here to be respectful of everyone's time. But as you guys know, every single one of the candidates has a page, a thread in the council candidates chat that I just linked in the voice chat, sorry, in the chat here in the amphitheater. So you can go in there and ask questions, any questions that you have for the candidates directly to that. So we'll be basically sending everyone there in case there are questions after each of the presentations. The order that we have for today, I posted it on the governance channel, but we will start with Emperor. This is basically the order that we have. So the first people who registered in the form will go first, and the last will go last. Of course, that's how it works. So we will start with Emperor, and we will finish with AJOTA. That is the last one that came in. So yeah, I see Kucheto in the chat pointing out that yeah, if you want to interact in the council candidates channel, you need PvP, so you need to verify with Matrika. In fact, in order to interact with any of the channels that are in the DAO category, you need PvP. So without further ado, I don't know, Jose, Dom, if there's anything you want to say before we get straight on to business and the council candidates presentations.
No, I mean I'm just excited because the people, the council that are elected, the 5 individuals that are elected, are going to actively be shaping the future of Star Atlas. You are the pioneers of Star Atlas. I am so excited to hear from everyone, and while we can't uh, give our opinions on anyone's presentation, I'm sure everyone as a whole is going to do great. I'm very much looking forward to seeing and hearing from everyone. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to get started here.
Yeah, and last here, don't feel bad if we don't comment on your presentation, guys. We as Automata team members will not be evaluating, advising, or participating on any political campaigns or presentations and etc. We are going to stay strictly neutral and we'll be enforcing the time limit for the presentations. So don't be mad at us, but if you go beyond the 5 minutes, we are going to mute you.
Cool. Yeah, nothing to add from my end. I think we can get straight into this. And the first council candidate that we have for today is Emperor from Rome. I just invited you to stage. Hello,
Hey
Emperor.
guys.
How's it
Hello.
going?
Going okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and your 5
perfect.
minutes will start whenever you start talking. By the way, so it hasn't started until you say your first word.
Yeah.
First word. No, thanks for having me. This is going to be fun. I always hate being the first guy up, but we'll see how this goes. I did write down some notes, so pardon me if it's a little generic to start off with. But your first question is give you guys a little bit of history about me. So I joined Star Atlas just shortly before the ship sails. Joined Rome January of 22. I'm currently Rome's treasurer. Um, I, fun fact, bought basically every single one of my assets at or above VWAP, which I'm still here, so that's always fun to overpay. Well, not overpay, but to buy above VWAP. I've held all of my Atlas or my assets this entire time. I'm number 5 on the Zeely quest. I own all of the comics. I own several Habs, claim stakes, ships, Polis. I've played every iteration that has been out there, including I can't remember the name of it, but all the clicking that we did running back and forth across the map. I am level 14 in Discord. I've been the most active in the governance channel, and this is one of the hot topics. I'm not very vocal, and I'll be the first to admit that. But I've been waiting for this day, for this opportunity. So to move on from my Star Atlas history, in real life, I'm a real estate developer. Um, by trade, I own a construction company. Um, Entrepreneur. Me and my wife have owned several businesses. I'm a mentor to a lot of up and coming entrepreneurs. But what makes me extremely excited about Star Atlas and what I can bring is I was a volunteer construction manager for Habitat for Humanity for 21 years. So I have got that not-for-profit view that you guys keep hearing me bring up. But more importantly, I've been involved with our downtown committee and group. So I'm basically, for all intents and purposes, the mayor of a really small district. So I'm no stranger to the Open Meetings Act and all the different committees and some of that stuff. By the way, 5 minutes is not as long as you'd think. So I've got that lens of being on boards, but one of the more important things is with my real estate, I've got a mixed use subdivision, and um, we don't have to. I'm gonna create an HOA, and that HOA will be ran as a DAO for all intents and purposes. So that's why this is really intriguing to me. And then why should people vote for me? I'm all about decentralization, community owned. I believe the DAO needs to be open and transparent with the meetings, the minutes, all of it. This is community owned. Uh, so that's really one of the more important things. It's not a bunch of people sitting behind closed doors um, without any accountability or any of that stuff. So um, I don't personally think this should be a paid position. I know that's kind of a hot topic sometimes in the governance chat. Um, we're creating the foundation of something truly different. I sound a little cliche when I get on this course, but Michael's vision for Star Atlas, yeah, it's a video game, and I agree it's a video game, but it's so much more. Um, we can take this thing, and if it's done right, it will be copied time and time again. Um, the job is a lot more than moderating Discord. That is a huge part of it, but we're setting the foundation. I will, if I'm elected, there needs to be processes and procedures. There needs to be a values list. We need to know why we're making decisions. Um, a mission statement, rules of governance, description of duties, standardized forms, example applications, a grading rubric. All of this stuff has to be built. And that's going to be a huge, heavy lift. I'm self-employed, so I have the time. I make my own schedule. I give time to things that are important to me, and this is one of them. 5 minutes went by really quick. I would love to have any chats with any guild that wants to talk. Just reach out in my DMs. Thanks for the time, guys.
Great. Thank you so much.
We're good.
Thank you so much for the presentation. That was a little bit loud, right? The timer ending.
Yeah, dude, it was. Sorry, I didn't know it was gonna be that loud.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all good. Well, thank you so much, Emperor, for the presentation. And guys, again, in the chat, if you want to ask any questions to Emperor, you can go to the Council Candidates channel, and you will find his thread under there. So, yeah. We can keep moving here, and the next person to present is jith. So let's get jith on stage. jith, please know again, like you will have the 5 minutes, and the timer will run as soon as you start speaking, my friend. So welcome to the stage.
All right, thanks for having me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so I entered Star Atlas approximately, what was it, like 3 months before school or something like that. I came in actually from a project that Animoca purchased, and then something happened to it. CSC, which is basically was basically like a crypto version of Eve. So coming into this from that was pretty. I think that it would be that it was pretty standard. I think a few other people have come in from that I've seen around. Okay, so who I am in real life, I do a lot of political activism. So dealing with things like looking at governance structures, looking at what has to be done to fix governance structures, obviously alternative forms of creating community governments, which is something that the DAO is really about, is effectively what I spend a lot of my day-to-day time doing. So why you should vote for me is effectively I want to make sure that we have a very solid structure moving forward. So we need to develop budgeting, we need to develop structures for how everything is going to be handled. We need to build out on the 4 initial pips and actually clearly define everything that needs to happen, because all Automata really gave us was a baseline foundation on things that are needed just to get things moving, which gives us the space to actually make the DAO our own. And I am perfectly happy and willing to facilitate making that happen. And in the interest of everybody's time, I think we can cut that here.
Cool. That's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you so much for your words, my friend, and for sharing for your presentation as a whole. So thank you very much, sir. Cool. Again, guys, the candidates here don't need to use the 5 minutes as a whole. They have the chance to speak for 5 minutes, but they can use that or not. Again, if you have questions for jith, Dominic just linked his thread under the council candidates channel. So we'll get Drum Carlos on stage next. Welcome, my friend. Please note that your 5 minutes will start when you start speaking. And I don't hear him.
Is it possible to share a PowerPoint?
Yes, you can.
Can you give me the permission, please?
Yes.
And
Give me
just
a second.
real quick, if he's streaming, I can't stream, so the audience won't see the 5 minutes, and you won't see it, Jump Carlos. But I'll let you know when you reach that 1 minute mark. Okay.
You should be able to do that now.
All right, can you all see?
Yeah. Yeah, we can see. Time starts now.
Sorry, I have to change to voice activity. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Let me come here to the first. Okay, my name is Drum Carlos, my Discord name. I joined the community in around August 2021. I'm 46 years old. I live in the UK, but I travel between different time zones constantly because I working at are possible conflicts of interest. I have a leadership role in Deep Profits. I have a leadership role in La República, which is a Spanish branch of Deep.
You're cutting out, my friend, just so you know.
I am a co-founder of Polaris Fuel and a founder of 426fm.com Metaverse Radio. My strategy focuses on key 9 areas that will enhance the Council's operation and strengthen our community's voice in shaping the future of Star Atlas. As a candidate, I really prioritize, I'm sorry about the accent, efficiency, transparency, and community engagement. So the first one of the 9 key areas is open communication. We can restructure the dedicated Discord channels to host real-time console discussions and launch public blog for regular updates on console activities, as well as utilize project management tools for transparent task tracking. We need to structure meetings, host weekly console meetings with clear agendas. We need to organize monthly town halls for direct community engagement and publish all meeting minutes for full transparency. I also believe in streamlined peer review, which involves, of course, develop a standardized evaluation rubric for fair assessment, as well as establishing a clear timelines for efficiency review processes, and implement a rotation system to ensure balanced workload among council members. We need to make sure there's a lot of transparency, and we need to create a public console dashboard showing real-time PIP status and voting records, as well as maintaining a calendar of all console activities and deadlines. And as well as a strict conflict of interest policy, of course. Active community engagement is really, really, really the most important part of a DAO. So we should host regular Ask Me Anything sessions with council members, develop robust feedback system for community input on council decisions, and ensure an active council participation in the community forums and discussions, especially in the Discord channels that are destined for the DAO activities. Continuous learning is very important, so we need to create a comprehensive onboarding resource for new council members, because this is not only one term. This is just the beginning of a process. And we need to develop easy-to-understand guide for council processes for the community, so they know how to interact with us, and there's less and stuff like that with the community. That will be awesome. We need adaptive governance, because we need to review quarterly the process that we're conducting and how to improve them. And we need to actively seek and incorporate community feedback on council performance, as well as stay informed about innovative governance practices. The DAOs are kind of a new thing of the last few years, and there's a lot to learn from other projects. We need cutting edge nations. And most of all, we need a lot of reporting. We need to produce detailed monthly reports of council activities and decisions. We need to establish and track key performance indications, as an objective way of measuring our performance, and create fair appeal process for addressing disputed council decisions. This is an example of what would be a route of implementations of all these different elements, because you cannot do that from one day to the other, but 6 months is not a lot. So mostly here, I want to reflect that I've thought about the process. I have some ideas about it. Obviously, they are completely flexible and open to the input of the community and other council members. But this is just an example of things we can work on. So
1 minute.
For closing, by implementing these strategies, I aim to create a council that is not only efficient and in its operation, but also deeply connected with the Star Atlas community, which I find is paramount. And together we can build a governance of our collective vision for Star Atlas. So thank you very much for your time, and that's all I had to say.
Awesome. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate the presentation. And yeah, we will move on to the next candidate. Guys, again, we'll link John Carlos' chat in the chat here, so you can ask questions about what he just presented. So yeah, we will move to the next candidate, which is notcatz. Let's get notcatz on stage. If you can raise your hand, better. If not, we can try to find you. Welcome to the stage, notcatz. Again, please note that your 5 minutes will start as soon as you begin speaking. You are muted, by the way, right now, just in case, letting you know.
I mean, if he can't figure it out, I'm pretty sure I can just say his 4 words, his campaign slogan. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Just a joke.
He has his slogan, yes. But yeah, you're muted, notcatz. Yeah, we can. I think we should probably start the timer down, so we are respectful of everyone's time. And time is running, notcatz. So
Okay, we see you're unmuted. You might be on push to talk now.
the silence is powerful. Silence speaks as well.
If you
but
go
yeah,
to
we'll-
you go to settings, notcatz, just follow along with me. User settings. Then you go to voice and video, and then you go to you should have input mode, and it'll say voice activity or push to talk. You can put it to voice activity, and then you shouldn't need to do push to talk.
Can you guys hear me now or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah,
Boom, boom.
yeah.
You got
Oh,
4
I
minutes.
switched
Go,
my
go, go,
laptop
go.
last week. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. I don't know. Where did I cut off? Sorry about that.
We haven't heard a single thing you
we
said.
didn't
Okay, all right.
hear a
Okay,
single
okay.
word.
I'll do the speed run. A little bit about me. I've been in crypto full year. Been in crypto for 7 years. My background is mostly in business and marketing. My last job, I was head of a e-commerce department for a chain store here in Mexico. Been in Star Atlas since 21. I can attest. Well, VB can attest to my early interviews. I've been a politician, and that's always been my dream ever since I first started hearing about Star Atlas. What interests me and what hooked to the scope of the project. What I think this council would look like, I think this one will be a very different council to what the next council is going to be, because this is basically a setup, is what I'm looking at it at, and it's to set a precedent for what the next council is going to be like. So for me, what we should prioritize in this term would be obviously inward operations. How are we going to interact between the council members? What times, meetings, all that internal processes that need to be ironed out. Obviously, I have my ideas. Everybody else has their ideas, but I think as council members, we're mostly representatives of the community. So it's not really just up to us. Obviously, we're going to be the ones that are going to be the final votes for the decisions, but that should be ironed out hand in hand with the community, and always looking for that feedback if they are aligned with what we're trying to build. I think the three main axes of what the council should entail, as I said, it's the inward operations, it's outwards as well, it's marketing, it's communications, it's being transparent with the community in our processes, and finding out where that middle point is between being practical and being transparent. As well, some team members can attest here as well. I was one of the big proponents for the town hall meetings not be done in 2-week sprints, because we didn't have enough info for it to be relevant. So that to me is important to iron out between what ideally would be great and what in practice actually works and is the best process moving forward. I think another big part of it is participation as well. We do need, especially for this term, I think we need very outspoken people and very proactive members in the community. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to historically, oh, okay, you were always in the top 50 of the Discord members. But for example, Emperor, I'll dare to say that he is a great example of being active right now
1
as
minute.
I'm sorry? Oh, yeah. Being active right now in the governance role, and I think that's one of the most important things. It's being proactive in the community, being open and flexible with your ideas that they might not always align with other people's. Not be afraid of discourse as well, and not being afraid to speak your mind. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of debates, and there was going to be a lot of a contrast of opinions here. So I mean, you can't take anything personal here. I did want to touch on one of the points Nebular question asked in the chat. As I said, I'm not guild aligned, so that isn't a problem. And on the personal side, I don't think I've had any problem, because there's been a lot of proposals, for example, for Polis that would directly benefit me, and I've gone against them because they are not aligned with the long-term growth of the project and the scope. Thank you, guys. I love you, Newt. Long live Polis as well.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. So that was notcatz, everyone. Again, you can find his slogan and everything in the link that
Check it out. It's a banger.
posted. Okay. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, guys.
Cool. Now we will move to the next candidate, which is jmmyam. Jmmyam, please request to speak. You'll have 5 minutes on stage. Not getting the request. Tom, just say if you can find him and send the invite. Also, if they're not here, we move to the next candidate as well. So jmmyam, okay, jmmyam, my friend, you have 5
Greetings,
minutes.
citizens. Thank you very much
Yep.
for 5 minutes. So let's start. Dear citizens, I'm Bowler Swan, jmmyam. About myself, I can point out that I'm an active player and I play more tactical because I believe that the planned agreement is always more successful than rash actions. Of course, I don't consider research as rash actions, but I still like a distant situation. I've been playing Star Atlas for about a year. Currently, I'm playing for faction, and I don't know if I'll join a member or if I'll create my own and maybe some alliance of members. Therefore, life in the future is as good as in the present. Well, about citizens and their votes. I think it's because they are citizens like me. They have an idea before they set to go. The idea is a game that brings many things such as fun, station, introduction, knowledge of many things and citizens. Indeed. Namely, just creating something can be demanding. And we see that as a positive thing on our way to space. Thanks and squeeze for me. See ya.
Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for the presentation. So, guys, that was jmmyam. And if you have questions for him, again, you can find his profile on the council candidates list. Cool. Moving on, we now have Krigs. So, Krigs, please request to speak. Welcome, Krigs. You have your 5 minutes on stage.
Hey, good afternoon. Before you start, sir, can you give me streaming?
Yes.
No, I don't have a presentation.
You don't have a presentation?
No, I just want to turn my camera
on. Can you do it now?
No.
Now?
Nope. It's not a big deal. I can go without it. I just wanted
now
everyone
you can.
to.
Now you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, appreciate it, Santi. Thanks. And Dom, you can go ahead and start the 5 minutes. So, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to wherever you guys are in Galia. And hello to my fellow Galia citizens. Hopefully, you recognize my face, but if you haven't, I'm Krigs. I'll go really briefly into some qualifications. My background that some of you may have already picked up on, just in daily interactions with myself. But me as an individual in real life, I've spent over a decade in government and government service, and really, I've held many command and executive secretary positions. I've led folks in groups ranging from 50 to 500 people strong. So I'm used to having large people and large amounts of people under me. My classical education and my formal education is in governance itself. So I hold a undergraduate degree in political science as well as a master's degree in national policy planning and security planning. I've worked with multiple government agencies across the board, include DoD and Department of Homeland Security, to implement policy at the national level. So that's just some of my work and professional background. Obviously, you guys know me in my interactions with Galia merchants in the community, Hologram News Network. So been kind of a mainstay in the community and providing entertainment or various value throughout the ecosystem for the last 2.5, 3-ish years. But aside from qualifications, I think there are qualities that council members should also possess, and a lot of those are pretty inherent and self-explanatory. But things like good public speaking and communication skills, which I think some of the candidates have already talked upon, and making sure that is a mainstay for council members and council interactions with the community. I also think council members should at least apply some kind of principled approach to how they implement or push procedures forward. that principles and values that individuals have will help guide and shape the DAO, and of course will be imparted upon the DAO throughout their daily work with council members. And then I think, council members should have really a long-term vision for the DAO and have broader perspective for the DAO, right? And so certainly having that vision aligned with what Star Atlas wants, what the community wants, and kind of some of those foundational documents, I think is a good start. But then also interesting to see how council members apply their own long-term strategic vision to execution of DAO duties and helping push and shape those discussions forward. So, some of those things you can expect, obviously, from me. I think there was a cutout there from the camera, but we'll continue. So really, why I'm running for DAO is because hopefully through all of this, you've heard the common theme of service, and really that's what government and government service should be, is service, not only to your community, but in this case, the DAO. I view the DAO as a long-term project of governance. I know there's a lot of discussion on token prices and the economics of the DAO, and certainly that's where we'll start. But I certainly view it as having that kind of hybrid evolution of some kind of form of governance from now into Web3 and decentralization. So having all of that classical background understanding is how we kind of move the ball forward. If you kind of look at philosophy of law, things are moved forward very incrementally, and it's almost a hubris to kind of think that we can kind of just jump into DAO formation and DAO creation without learning lessons from the past history, other DAOs. Plenty of DAOs have made mistakes before. So learning from those mistakes, making sure we don't replicate those mistakes, whether it's a Web3 DAO governance system or even a classical national state governance system, is something, that I can add and lend perspective to when it comes to DAO governance. So, with that, happy to serve all you guys in the community. Happy to, interact with you guys on the daily, and certainly appreciate you guys taking the time to listen. And thanks to the team for hosting us and being able to have these discussions. There's a lot of chat in there. I'll try to grab a question if I can, but I will definitely take a look here.
1 minute.
Thanks again, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much, Krigs. And as always, I will point out that if you have questions for Krigs directly, you can ask on his thread under the Council Candidates channel. Cool. Now we will have Dmark on stage. Dmark, please request to speak if you're here. I don't see him on the audience. Don Jose, if you see him, make sure to invite him
Yeah,
to stage.
I'm looking. I don't see him either.
Where are you, Mark?
Let me type just in case. Dmark, please raise your hand. We'll count until 10. You can put the timer down and give him 10 seconds. If not, we'll move to the next person.
Last chance, D-Mark. Last chance. All right, that was 10 seconds.
Okay, we'll move to the next person. We have Mission Pool or JP. JP, please request. Welcome, my friend. You have 5 minutes to present here. We don't hear you right now.
Oh, test.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I was hoping DMARC would show up. I mean, Krigs is kind of a hard guy to follow, so I haven't worked with the DoD, but I am happy to tell you guys a little bit about what my history is. So my name's Josh. I go by JP. I am the founder and CEO of the platform Arcade.to.earn. My background is in entrepreneurship. I've been in the equities and investing, equities markets and investing for a little over a decade. I founded Arcade about 3 years ago. It's a GameFi platform, And around that same time, got super interested in Star Atlas. I have, been involved in the community. Arcade initially spent a little over 1.8 million on ships, so we're heavily invested. We are currently running mission pools on our platform for Star Atlas. I am a big fan of the project and the future of the project. The main, I guess, background for me would be I have lots of connections in the industry. I know all of the, big venture capital firms. I am close with basically every game that's building in the industry currently. Many of the guilds, many of the KOLs and creators. And I think part of the value that I bring is in my network and what I've been able to amass through the years working on Arcade. I am full-time in this, so I don't have other job conflicts. I actually have spent a lot of time working with other DAOs. I currently am seated on the Alluvium DAO. I know that's a little controversial, but I will say that I think Star Atlas and Alluvium are both kind of leading the charge for quality Web3 gaming. I know there's a little bit of a bicker that's been back and forth, but I would hope that by coming in, I can kind of help mend some of those bridges. I think the industry is too young to have drama like that going on. That's just, again, my personal hot take. I would like to come in and try to build bridges and kind of unite the different communities, bring GameFi a little bit closer together where everyone can prosper. And so I think, through those connections, I'm also very close with the Parallel team. I've contributed to Paragon's DAO, ETH Lizard's DAO, Banana DAO. You guys might have heard of that DAC from way back when. And so I have a lot of experience in DAO governance. And with that, I think that I can bring value to the Star Atlas DAO and hopefully help in some of the structural kind of onboarding and setup for what a DAO is and what it can do. There's a lot of complexities to navigating that governance structure. It is still very young, but I've learned a lot over the years contributing to other DAOs. And I would say that, basically, in terms of qualities that an individual should have, I think people that are comfortable publicly speaking, people that are doxxed, I think can be a benefit. People that are comfortable getting in front of a camera, going on, talk shows or interviews and talking about what Star Atlas is building.
You muted yourself. I don't know if you meant to do that, but it was like mid-sentence.
Sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call of all times. But anyways, I think that there's a lot that structurally I can help with. I have experience running organizations and business development, marketing, product development. And so those are things that I would like to contribute to Star Atlas, and I certainly have the time to do it. So that is it for me. Thanks, Santi. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend. Appreciate the presentation. You can discuss with JP and ask him questions in the link Dom just shared in the chats. Thank you, JP. Now we will move to the next candidate. We have Bodhi 3. So, Bodhi, please request to speak.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome to stage. Your 5 minutes to start now.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Bodhi. I'm a long-term supporter and player of Star Atlas, with a sizable vested interest in the project and an underlying desire for the project to succeed. I've been in crypto since 2017 and Web3 gaming since 2020, having been a part of over 20 games in Web3 and having seen many projects succeed and fail. I have found that there are common denominators that determine a project's success or failure. I'm a full-time player and investor in Star Atlas, and I'm eager to bring what value I can to the DAO. A hot topic this past week has been buying PvP. Given the nature of blockchain, there's no way to stop the purchase and selling of PvP, even if it was against the rules. This leaves only one logical conclusion. If you want to prevent future council elections from being bought and paid for, the only way to do this is to change the way that the elections are held. I believe that facilitating a PIP to change the election process to be one of the most important jobs for our first council. Some people argue that being able to sell PvP adds value to polls holders. My question is, doesn't having the best individuals in council create far more value than being able to sell your PvP for pennies? There's also been talk of paying future council members. I suppose if a seat comes with a paycheck, and you're able to buy that seat, the price of PvP would increase. Is the conflict of interest and potential subsidy from the DAO worth being able to sell your PvP? Is there a better way? I think so. As council, it is not my job to impose or even present an alternative. It is strictly my job to facilitate proposals on behalf of others. Council aside, as a community member, I will be proposing what I think to be a superior election process, and I encourage you all to as well. My primary objective as council member will be to facilitate these PIPs regarding future election processes and improve the way that we elect our future council members. Discussing potential ideas for the way which elections will be held in the future is beyond the scope of this conversation. However, I will share a few fundamental ideas. Elections should not hinge on who has the most PvP backing them, and certainly not if the position is financially compensated. I'm willing to discuss my ideas for how this might be done in Discord, but I want to make it clear that I fully understand that it is not the council's job to impose these ideas, but simply to facilitate them through the voting process. It is up to you all to decide the way that we will elect our future council members, and I hope I have demonstrated why it is important that these changes be made. Moving on. I pledge that in the case that financial compensation for council members is a PIP that is created and passed, that I will be donating my personal compensation either directly to the DAO or to a good cause. While I do believe that financial compensation for council is a conflict of interest, it is my job to put my personal opinions aside and facilitate any and all PIPs, even if I believe them to be unwise. It is again up to you all to decide what is best in regards to the DAO. As council members, we are here to simply facilitate the process. Outside of facilitating PIPs regarding the election process, I would like to create a standard operating procedure for council, detailing each and every aspect of our duties and how best to go about them. I will also facilitate the creation of a framework for which a council member or future candidate can be removed if found to be acting in bad faith. My motivation is to add value to the DAO and to help ensure economic stability and transparency. Thank you all for listening. I encourage you to vote for me if you believe that the council election process in the future needs to change and that the inner workings of the council process should be fully transparent to the broader community. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bodhi. Thank you so much. So again, Dominic just posted in the chat in case you have questions for Bodhi. You can go there and ask directly. We'll move to the next candidate. We'll have Alexus on stage. Welcome, Alexus. Your 5 minutes will start running as you speak.
Hey everyone, can you hear me?
Perfect.
Perfect. I'm 29 years old and currently studying business informatics here in Germany. I've been around the Atlas metaverse for almost 3 years now. From the beginning, I've been working with HEIM Industries as a foreman for our crafting service and occasionally help out with some moderation tasks in the German community, mostly translating the announcements. And I'm currently a moderator in the in the Super Phoenix DAO. You might not see me posting a lot in the channels. I'm more of a quiet person, but I do keep up with what's happening and read through the discussions to stay in the loop. I'm passionate about this metaverse and committed to helping it grow and succeed. I'm running for the Atlas Council because I'm genuinely care about is making sure that every one of us, especially the smaller and mid-sized players, got a voice in shaping our future. My focus will be on two main principles: transparency and integrity. These aren't just buzzwords for me. They're the foundation of what I believe will make our community stronger and more united. In a decentralized world like Star Atlas, transparency isn't just important, it's essential. It's about making sure that everyone, no matter their size or influence, has access to the information they need to be part of the decision-making process. If I'm elected, I'll push for all decisions, discussions, and votes to be clearly documented and easily accessible for everyone. The more we know, the better we can trust the process and each other. Integrity is about doing the right thing, even when it's tough. In Star Atlas, that means making decisions that are fair, ethical, and in the best interest of the community as a whole. I promise to hold myself and others to high standards, be upfront about my decisions, and ensure that the rules are applied fairly to everyone. I want to see a Star Atlas where everyone, not just the big players, has a fair shot at success. I know how easy it can be for smaller voices to get drowned out in such a massive metaverse. That's why I'm here, to make sure your voices are heard, your concerns are addressed, and your contributions are valued. I'll be advocating for initiatives that help level the playing field, whether that's through more balanced resource distributions, fair voting systems, or other support measures. We've got a chance to build something really special with the Star Atlas DAO, an open, fair, and inclusive community. But to do that, we need to stick to the values that brought us here. If you choose me for the council, I do everything I can to make sure we uphold those values and create Star Atlas where everyone can succeed. And lastly, a huge shout out to the Gem community and HEIM industry for all your support. You guys are a big part of what makes this community great, and I'm honored to have you in my corner. Thanks for listening and thanks for your trust. Let's build something amazing together. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alexis. Thanks for the presentation. And again, posting the link in the chat if you have questions for Alexis. You can go there and ask directly on his thread. Cool. Next, we have Kucheto. Kucheto, I see in the audience, I invited you to speak.
Hello, can you hear me?
Welcome, yeah, we can hear you.
Is it right to share my presentation on screen?
Yes, let me give you the role. You should be able to do it now.
No, you can't stream into this channel still.
Now?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, I can hope you see well. I will start now. Okay, nice to meet you all. I'm Kucheto. My real name is Mikhail. Kucheto just means the dog in Bulgarian. First of all, who am I and what I do for a living? I'm a gamer. I've started playing Star Atlas about a year ago when Sage was still in its early steps, and I really liked the gameplay. That's what made me start playing the game. So I'm not from the oldest members of the community, but I still see great potential in the game in the ecosystem. In real life, I'm an IT specialist with more than 10 years experience in the field, and I'm currently working as a quality assurance specialist in software. I have a bit of experience with debates and regulations. In university, I was part of the debates club, so I do like good debates that follow the rules and are informative. And also as the president of the youth parliament in high school, which is the youth parliament on municipal level, I have helped to push some of the projects with financing from the municipal that benefited the youth community in my hometown and the whole municipal. Okay, next, why do I want to become a council member? So first of all, I'm really passionate about Star Atlas and its potential future. As I already said, I love to see productive debates both in the community and when we are discussing PIPs. And I want the community as a whole to grow not only in numbers as taking more new players in the game, but also grow as a whole and be more respectful to each other. And I also want the community to thrive and to feel welcome here in Star Atlas. And I think this is a great opportunity for me to take part in building Star Atlas future. What skills do I bring to the table? Well, first of all, I have a bit of technical knowledge in IT sphere. So I do have some crypto knowledge from some years ago, mainly mining crypto, and I'm relatively new in the Solana ecosystem, but I do start to develop some skills there too. I do have great attention to detail, as my job is a quality assurance specialist. I rarely miss things, and you know the saying, the devil is in the details. So I usually catch not only bugs but potential issues before they're presented. And also I have some experience in moderating discourse, not Discord, but discourse in one of my previous jobs. And I do believe that the DAO will migrate to discourse in the future. Okay, why should be a council member? Yeah, I am really a data-driven, objective, and
1
impartial.
minute.
Means that I do like to see the data first before making any decisions, and I do want to encourage the community when voting to always rely on correct data. Objective and impartial. I'm not part of any guilds, and I don't seek any self-beneficial from the votes and the PIPs. I'm very respectful in the community, and I want the community to be very respectful to each other. Also, I'm community driven. I'm highly available. I currently have a stable job, but it's a desk job, so I'm always available in front of the computer. So you can see me in Discord often. And I do have experience with setting up internal processes, which will be a very important part in the first steps of the DAO. And yeah, thank you all for listening to me, and I hope you vote for the best candidate.
Thank you, my friend. I think that was exactly 5 minutes. So, perfect.
Guys, I'll be doing a live translation on the next presentation to allow for the candidate to better express himself, okay? Since he's not a native speaker.
Perfect. So next on stage we have Sowin. So Sowin, let's get him on stage.
Testando.
Yeah,
Testing,
we can
testing.
hear you. Oh, Tom, get the timer running.
I actually can't even screen share anymore. I'm not sure what happened.
That's weird. Okay, no, don't worry. You can play the timer yourself, and then.
Okay. Okay.
Eu tô aguardando o cronômetro, não sei se...
You can start, você pode começar.
Hello, I am Sawin. I've been on the project Size 2021. I am member of a Brazilian community, and because my English is that good, José will be translating. É com grande entusiasmo que eu expresso meu interesse em integrar oficialmente ao projeto desse jogo, como avaliador das propostas de desenvolvimento.
It is with great enthusiasm that I am applying to become one of the council members and helps push the Star Atlas projects and PIPs forward.
Tenho uma paixão genuína por jogos e uma compreensão profunda dos elementos que contribuem para uma experiência de jogo envolvente e equilibrada.
I have a deep passion for games overall and a good knowledge on the different mechanisms that makes a game involving, exciting, and to push it forward in the Star Atlas ecosystem.
Sou jogador pequeno e eu tenho crescido com o jogo enquanto ele está se desenvolvendo.
I'm a small player, and I have been growing my fleet as Star Atlas develops itself.
Acredito que a minha habilidade em analisar criticamente as propostas, identificando pontos fortes e fracos, pode contribuir significativamente para o sucesso do projeto.
I think that my critical analysis on the different proposals and how they should play out can make the difference on guiding the project to the best way possible.
Também vou participar como criador de pips, além de, em conjunto com outros colegas, estarmos criando uma empresa de logística para auxiliar jogadores de pequeno e médio porte.
I would also like to participate on the DAO by proposing my own pips and helping the overall ecosystem by we are helping the overall ecosystem by creating a logistic company inside the game that will help medium and small players to get started in Star Atlas. So have proposals on that sense.
Estou ansioso para colaborar com a equipe, participar com as minhas ideias e trabalhar na criação de algo que cative e inspire os jogadores.
I'm really looking forward to be here, work with the Star Atlas team and everyone involved in the ecosystem, and help them push forward Star Atlas to a higher degree of excellence.
Thank you for your attention. Era isso.
Thank you.
Obrigado.
That's it, guys. Thank you very much for
Obrigado.
listening.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Sawin.
Great job just translating, by the way.
Yeah, bro. I hope I made justice to his speech. Actually, it's hard.
You did great. Cool. So next we have Bryan. Welcome to stage, Bryan. You have your 5 minutes.
Can I have camera as well?
Oh yeah. Let me give you the permissions here. Can you do it now?
You can't stream into this channel.
Now?
Yep, got it.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, hello everyone. Glad to be here. This is really exciting stuff that we've been waiting for the DAO to come into play for a couple of years now, and it's finally here. So I'm going to give you a little bit of background about myself. I am a California barred attorney, which means I can practice in the state of California and nationally as well. I have a legal master's in tax. I'm also a software developer. Currently, I do tax law for corporations and partnerships, primarily private equity. Basically help those corporations and partners comply with U.S. tax law. I won't be using my legal background as part of the DAO Council, but it helps with writing and reading, all that stuff. I'm also a Solana mainnet operator. I've been an operator for about a year and a half. Currently the operator for Cogent Crypto, and we have over 100 million USD staked with us. I think at the highs it was probably 300 million. That requires pretty intense technical skills and being on call 24/7. I think if I added up the downtime we've had over the last year and a half, it's probably been less than a half hour total. So it's going pretty well. For Star Atlas, I came into the scene in 2022. Got my first maiden heart right after the FTX collapse. Had basically no money and lost a whole lot of it during FTX, but then I kind of doubled down and said, you know what, I love Star Atlas. I love the maiden heart. Shout out to Signal for shilling it, because he was the guy. He was the guy that got me hooked. Polis, I've got quite a bit of Polis as well. I think I'm sitting at 500,000, and for me, having Polis, having ships in Star Atlas, it means you're committed. You're there for the long haul, and you practice what you preach. If you believe in the DAO, if you believe in Star Atlas, then you need to own it. Ownership is really a key element. So for me, there's two things happening. There's what I want to do as a person, like as part of the DAO, and also what I want to do as a counselor. To me personally, like pushing ecosystem growth of the DAO is really important. The DAO is young, no one really knows who we are. So that's like gotta push it. We have to shout it to the world, you know. Gospel of Luke, gospel of the DAO. Probably the other really big point that I want to push is Pulse is a game loop. It's really important that we have participation. DAOs live and die by the participation and getting people involved, participating, you know, in the governance, but also in game loops. Super, super huge. So as a DAO counselor, I'm going to echo a lot of things that people have said already. We need internal structure, like how we communicate, weekly meetings, rubrics for pips. And it's funny, like, I've been hearing all this chat, and no one has really mentioned the pulse holders, but the pulse holders we work for the pulse holders. And so we owe them regular reporting, budgets. They need to know everything. So I really want to have weekly updates, town halls, accounting for what we're doing. They need to be involved every step of the way. And yeah, that's it. Probably the last thing I should mention is I'm also a huge Starbase player as well. I'm top 5 LP, so I understand how the gameplay works. I'm in there every day. I'm grinding every day on Starbase, here on Discord. Yeah, so I'm really excited to help propel the DAO forward. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Bryan, for the presentation. And guys, if you want to ask Bryan any questions, you can go directly to his channel that is posted in the chat. So thank you, my friend. Well, now we will move to the next candidate. We have Folarihn. So Folarihn, hope I'm pronouncing that name right. If you are here, please request to speak. I said Folarihn. So the name in the chat. Dom, can we get the timer running? 20 seconds. If they don't join, we move to the next one. Seconds left. Okay. He isn't here, I guess. We'll move to the next person. The next person is Kirito. So Kirito, please come to the stage.
Yeah.
Welcome, my
Hi,
friend.
guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So, hello, everyone. My name is Kirito. I am 30 years old and I live in Italy. And ever since I was young, I had a deep passion for video games and computer science. However, as I grew up, I had to set these passions aside to face the realities of the working world. My first encounter with cryptocurrency was in 2017, but it wasn't until 2021, during the pandemic, that I decided to seriously dive into this world. And I was particularly struck by the Axie Infinity story. And while exploring the play-to-earn space, I came across the trailer for Star Atlas. So I immediately thought, wow, this is like a next-gen game. You know, I've played a lot of game. I don't know if some of you know this browser game. Actually, it was one of my favorite games, but I had to stop playing because essentially I felt like it was wasted time. And you know, time is money. But with Star Atlas, everything changed. So, as the development progressed, my interest grew even more. My journey in this game began with Star Atlas Italia, where I found extremely competent and always available people. Later, I expanded my horizon to the international community, also creating some content as well. I've made some songs about Star Atlas that are on my YouTube channel. You can listen in the link that is in my tab. The Puri team appreciated my enthusiasm, and now I'm part of this amazing group of guys. Together, working with them, I'm learning a lot about community management, and we often organize contests with rewards and events like Pink Friday to support small players. We have a big attention about small players because they are the bone of the game. We're also working on a system of airfo airdrops for them. I admit that this is all new to me. Star Atlas is the first Web3 game I've ever interacted with, and I've never been part of a DAO. So probably there are people more suitable than me for this role. But I strongly believe in the long-term vision of this game, and now I'm all in, as my nickname suggests. Convinced that over time, Star Atlas can become a global cultural movement more than a game. And if I'm elected, I will dedicate myself entirely to the progress and promotion of Star Atlas. In fact, I will do this even if I weren't voted in, because I'm truly excited to be part of this change. Thanks for the time, guys.
Thank you very much, Kirito. Appreciate you joining on stage. We just linked his page, his channel on the council candidates category, so you can go there. If you have questions for Kirito, you can ask them there. Cool. We will move to the next candidate now. We have Avia Z. I don't know if he will be joining. I know he in the chat said he didn't want his candidacy to run anymore. He wanted to close it. But still, Avia Z, if you want to come to stage, you're more than welcome if that was a joke or you change your mind. So let's get the 20 seconds running done. And if he doesn't come, we'll go to the next one. Good time for elevator music right now. While we wait. Okay, 20 seconds gone. We'll move to the next candidate. The next candidate we have is onursonmez. So Onur, if you are here and want to come to the stage for your presentation, please let me know. Let's get the 20 seconds running done. Please, Onur, come to stage. Last call. Okay. Not here, so we'll move to Sim. Dom, I believe that, I don't know, Sim, if you're here. If not, he provided a speech for us to play in his behalf today. So let's play that right now. So this is Sim.
Hello everyone, thank you for having me. I wrote down this speech because, like Dom, Icy, and others know pretty well, sometimes my messages can be a bit of a mess, so it's better if I stick to a script. Unfortunately, at this time, it's quite common for me to have a work meeting, so I couldn't join you live. I won't take much of your time. I joined the Star Atlas project shortly after the poster sale, as a typical player who started with an airbike and gradually scaled up my investment. Getting to the council role, I decided to run for this position because I believe that everyone should help in whatever way they can. As a freelancer developer, I have many free moments during the day when I can fulfill this role. That being said, it doesn't mean I can be online 24/7, otherwise I'd be here with you today. I believe that everyone here has something to contribute, like time, money, or specific skills that can be put to use not just for the project in itself, but also for the community. This noblesse oblige should be the cornerstone of our community, the true essence of power to the people. I don't feel in competition with the other 21 fantastic candidates because I know that whoever takes on the role will do their best, and that's enough for me. Good luck to everyone, thank you, and see you in Galia. Hello everyone, thank you for having me.
Well, I saw some comments in the chat saying that it was a bit too low volume. Want to check if everybody was able to listen to it. If not, we can play it again one more time. Yeah, it's all good, they say. So we'll move to the next candidate. That was Sim. So thanks, Sim, for the recording. I know not everybody can make it to the it's a working day, so I appreciate sending a recording anyways. And you can find Sim, of course, in the council candidates channel if you have questions for him. Next one, we have Funcracker. So Funcracker, please. Okay, Funcracker, you have 5 minutes, my friend.
Awesome, thanks a bunch. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Perfect. So I would like to share, but I won't because my connection is a bit crappy. So please imagine my shining face while I'm talking. So I'm Funcracker, better known as Ronald in real life. I'm 43 years old. I'm a freelance web application developer and have been working in that field for over 20 years. I joined Star Atlas right before Rebirth in April of 2021, and I have been an active, passionate community member ever since. I was honored to receive the Best Community Member Joni Award in 2022 and the Most Knowledgeable Community Member Joni Award in 2024. And if that does not speak enough to my passion, I'm also a community moderator. I organized the first 2 Breakpoint community meetups, and I co-founded one of the first guilds, or DAX, Avia Industries. And because Avia plans to, like Star Atlas, transition power to a member DAO, I have been researching DAOs for the past 3 years as well. As part of that, I've also been a participant in a DeFi DAO for the past 3 years. So let's switch to the actual topic of today, council member governance, and let's start by asking the big question, why? Why does the DAO exist? To govern the ecosystem, the future metaverse, to manage its treasury, to ensure the longevity of the Star Atlas MMO, all true. But it starts with the most crucial reason of all, enabling the community to participate in the governance process. I believe council members should empower the community to create PIPs, vote for PIPs, and understand the process of governance. So let's leave our egos at home and get to work. Let's unlock and smoothen the proposal process. Let's gather the guidelines and rules from previous PIPs to which the PIPs must adhere and publish them ASAP. Let's go over the current PIPs, discuss what is lacking, document that for all, and provide feedback. Let's create a template pronto that people can use to submit the PIP drafts. Then we can start looking into proposals to plug the holes in the current governance setup. Let's make sure we do as much as possible out in the open, provide maximum transparency, and let's perhaps err on the side of putting decisions into PIP so the whole community can share their input. Finally, to wrap things up, I disagree with an aforementioned notion here today that council members need to be good speakers. I think we simply need to get to work. We're not here to give long speeches. We're not here to boost our own presence. We're here to roll up our sleeves and get to work. I'm looking forward to serving the DAO as a council member and to help bring the DAO to the next level. Thank you very much for your time, and long live the status DAO.
Awesome. Thank you, Funcracker.
Most welcome. check out my thread and yeah, let's talk there.
Yeah, you can check Funcracker's thread on the link that Dom just posted if you have questions for him. Cool. So now we'll move to the next candidate we have here on the list, Onigiri 0732. So Onigiri, if you are here, please raise your hand and we'll get you on stage. So elevator music and 20 seconds, Dom. 20 seconds for Onigiri to join the stage. Okay, we'll move to the next candidate. So moving to the next one, we have Bilal Sus. So Bilal Sus, if you're here with us, we'll give you your 5 minutes. 20 seconds to join the stage, Bilal Sus. Okay, Bilal Sus is not here, so we'll move to the next and last candidate, AJOTA. So AJOTA, please request. Okay, perfect. We have AJOTA.
Hi,
Hello.
can I share my screen?
Yes, let me give you the permissions. Now you should be able to share your screen.
Hello, hello. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you.
Excellent. There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Antonio. I go for AJOTA. And let's tell you about a little about myself. I'm an Uster, and as a Uster, I love shiny black metal things. My main skills are commanding, engineering, and science. I've been working as a team management in team management for 20 years in development. So that you know me a little more, I ran the Ocean personality test. So it says that I'm 96% openness. I have a 96% openness, sorry. So I love learning, and I'm always open to listening to what everyone has to say. And I'm always open to experimentation and exploring what new things can bring. 77 conscientiousness. I like to study every detail of things. 19% extroversion, just enough to stay functional. And 62% agreeableness. I care about what people say and what people feel, but I always try to keep a calm mind, because what we need to do is to make the project go forward, and that also needs to take some decisions in order to make it successful. 71% neuroticism, not that much. I'm from Spain. I've been working around the world, in Germany, in USA. Okay, so that's me on the outside. On the inside, of course, I'm dark, but I'm also delicate and beautiful. So that's I think that's a good mix in order to keep a balance of things. So that you know me a little more, I've been working in very weird stuff. I started in QA and Nintendo. I also work as a game dev, as an artist. I'm a sculptor, and I'm a math scientist. I love experimenting, running simulations, and doing crazy stuff. I've also worked in emergency management with wildfire simulations, explosions, chemicals, etc., and defense. So these are my core key points. And what are my principles and what I bring? What do I bring to the council? My main concerns are ensuring that SA has a long run. That's the most important thing. For that, we need to have to ensure a good economy and also player balance and having fun. So here are more details. I will be sharing this presentation later if you like to read it a little. And as I said, the most important thing is having a stable economy because that's what will make the project last as long as possible. And also the demographics are really important in the game because we need people to be able to interact with each other and depend on each other so that we create social loops in our community. That is key to keep good health for both fun and also the economic part of the game. And of course, I will
1 minute.
always work forward the community participation, the Power by the Creator, Power by the People Creators program, and always work for creating content in game and help SA team to share content that we can use. So thank you for your time, and I will be very honored if you decide to give me your vote. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, AJOTA. I appreciate the presentation.
Thank you.
Great. Great. Okay, so thanks, AJOTA, again. And that was our last presentation for the day. So, yeah. What do you think, Jose? Great candidates.
I feel like, first of all, W's in the chat for everyone who presented
Yeah.
today. Like,
Yeah.
it's not easy coming before the crowd, explaining your ideas, your principles. I felt the quality of the candidates was super high. Like, man, we have all sorts of people with all sorts of skills and not an easy decision. Like, I'm super happy that we have this system that allows us to vote for or support multiple candidates because the quality level of the presentations, at least for me, was super high. I'm super hyped about this election. I was already hyped, but now seeing those candidates, how passionate, how knowledgeable they are, bro, feeling extremely hyped, not gonna lie.
Me personally, feeling proud. I saw notcatz say it, but he said council will be in good hands, whatever happens, and I fully agree with that. I think whatever happens, the council is going to be in great hands. I've heard a lot of great presentations today. You guys killed it. You guys should be proud of your guys' selves too. So I don't want to get into specifics, of course, but great job, everybody. It was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I can only echo what Jose and Dom said. Honestly, seeing such high quality candidates and seeing so many people really care about the Star Atlas ecosystem, the DAO, and the community makes me feel proud of what we have going on here. So I think if you were here today, you can. This is why the Star Atlas community is special, and why the Star Atlas is special is because we literally have people like this who care about the project and are willing to put in time and effort to make this happen. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who joined. As a quick reminder, I see a question in the chat on what next dates. First stage for voting, so going from all the candidates to 12, we'll start the 14th of next month, and we'll end at breakpoint. And the second stage it will go from the 12 candidates to the 5 that will be elected. Starts post breakpoint, and we will be communicating the end date closer to that date. As you know, you will be able to vote for multiple candidates, and let me post the video on how this will work again, because that video definitely explains it a lot better than what we could explain. So posting the video in the chat in case you wonder how the voting will work. And yeah, I think that's all. Again, super proud of the community. Feeling really, really happy about the elections, about the people that we have running, and yeah, hope this helped inform everyone on their votes, and hopefully everyone has a decision on how to use their PvP for this election. So thanks everyone for joining. This was the Atlas Brew number 126, and we'll see you next Wednesday at the same time as always. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you, everyone. See you.